Hey, good morning, everyone, and welcome into Bozard Ford Studio. It's time for the Stoidum, the show that's on in the morning, and we have a very, very special guest, a good friend, and the good mayor, Dylan Rumrell, in studio with us, and we're excited. We're talking about Guana Preserve, land swap, what happened with that. We're talking about his tenure as mayor of city of St. Augustine Beach, how he got there, and all the wonderful stuff that's happening, and how you can stay safe this Memorial Day weekend out there at the beach. All right, but first, what we got to do is we got to talk about our amazing sponsor, who will be in tomorrow. Letty Bozard will be in with us tomorrow. Bozard Ford. Since 1949, Bozard Ford Lincoln has been more than just a dealership. It's been a trusted family-owned part of St. Augustine community for over 75 years. Founded by U.S. Navy veterans. Talked veterans yesterday with Lieutenant Colonel Dudley, but it was started by veterans Fred H. Bozard Jr. and Fred Bozard III. Their legacy of service continues today through unmatched customer care, award-winning facilities, and a deep community involvement. From their 91 climate control service bays to their no appointment quick lane, which is amazing, Wi-Fi in their customer lounge, and a fantastic food and drinks at Ford's Garage Restaurant. Everything they do is designed to serve you, and that is 100% true. Experience their national recognized customer service honored by Triple Crown Award, President's Award, and more. Bozard Ford Lincoln is here to serve you with great pricing, great selections, and even better people. Bozard Ford Lincoln, they are driven to inspire. Also, we have to give a big shout out to our other sponsors, our amazing people. Fidus Roofing, Old Town Trolley, Ben 39 Wine. Whew, was a little tipsy after last night's show. B&S Signs, Chiba Hut Toasted Subs, St. Augie's Pizza, Chris Lucero, Bail Bonds, and St. Augustine Handy House. All right. We appreciate you guys, and make sure you're out there supporting our sponsors. And if you would, we're so close on our YouTube. We need those subscribers on our YouTube. We need to get to that 1,000 mark. And we're now on Rumble. Really not, I don't know a whole lot about Rumble, but it seems like a really cool format. So we're on Rumble, so subscribe to us there. And to help Blake pay for his gas money getting here, hit some of those Facebook stars. And we will really, really appreciate it. And if you would, hit that share button. Blake Blevins.
Yes.
How you doing back there?
I'm doing well. I'm trying my best to reach over the laptop to press all the buttons back here.
Okay. So what do you got going?
My laptop, because I have to do some of the reads myself and also do the comments reports.
I got you. Yeah, because Amanda, Amanda, we miss you. I'm just letting you know right now,
yes,
in case you didn't know you were missed. We definitely miss you.
Hey, because unfortunately, the previous manager decided not to put a whiteboard back here, so I can't write down anything. Although it's probably for the best I do type it out because I have terrible handwriting.
you wouldn't be able to read your own handwriting, so that's probably best. Hey, good mayor.
Man, what's up, Troy?
Good to see you, man.
Man, it's good to be seen.
Good to see you. All right, we're going to do question of the day. All right, question of the day. If you were to be on Amazing Race, who would your partner be if you want to win? Okay, this is not the husband answer, because you got to say, like I would have to say Rebecca.
Right,
but
yeah.
We're not doing husband answer. You would say, Angela, like you really want to win, and you know this is going to be your best chance of winning.
Man, Usain Bolt, because I can't run.
He's doing all that.
Yeah, he's doing all that.
That means you're going to have to eat all the nasty stuff.
That's okay. I'll trade him.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm not running unless I'm being chased, and then I just have to outrun the person in front of me.
Yeah. Why you tie your shoes?
That's why you tied your shoes. Why'd you trip?
I just got to outrun you.
It's got to outrun you.
So Usain Bolt.
Usain Bolt
is gonna be your guy.
It's my dude.
Yeah, Blake. Well, who you got? Who you taking on the Amazing Race with you to win?
I'm not really gonna say who I want to win, but just for like pure entertainment factor, I would just love it to see how everyone would react if I took Big Mom with me.
Big Mom, no. Talk about not being able to run.
Hey, but
There you go. See, I'm already up one. I'm already up one.
You can outrun Big Mom.
I'm already up one.
I got you. I got you outrunning the Big Mom there.
But be honest though, she'll probably give the best quotes of all time on that show though.
Oh, she would be entertaining. I mean, she'd only last one show. She'd be like, "I'm quitting this."
Yeah.
Big Mom's 80, or she'll be 87. We share the birthday, so
okay.
I don't think
definitely outrunning.
I don't think you're winning with Big Mom, but you're right. It would be entertaining. All right, I think I'm taking Mike Davis with me.
Okay.
You know, he's athletic enough. He probably can read a map okay. We know we can fight and still be friends.
Right.
Because I think that's one of the things you got to be able to fight and still be friends.
That's true.
You
Good
know?
point.
So I think Mike would be my amazing race partner.
Especially if it was like Surfer Edition, because then I would take Mark Bailey.
Yeah.
As Surfer Edition, right?
I think Mark would be okay too. But Mike's got that competitive. I mean, Mark's competitive too. I mean, basketball. I've seen him get some pretty fired up. But Mike's got that competitiveness too, like where if I'm like, come on, he'll
do it.
He can be coached up, and I can be coached up. So I think that would be who I'd be taking. All right, it is now time for a quick check of the weather. It's nice. All right, that weather report was brought to us by Ben 39. All right. Discover one of St. Augustine's best-kept secrets, Ben 39, tucked inside St. Augustine Inn at the north end of St. George Street. With over 95 boutique wines, 50 of them rated 90 points or higher by Robert Parker. It's a perfect spot for a romantic date or relaxing after work and unwind. Sipped by the glass. They sell everything by the glass.
They're great.
They sell everything. Sip by the glass or bottle in a serene courtyard setting and enjoy live music Thursday through Sunday. Open daily, 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. Just stop by and say, I'll have what Irving's having. Ben 39, your taste to discover. Now we had Irving in last night.
I saw that.
Oh man, those were some good wines.
He loves his wine.
He brought in the Mac Daddies for us, and I'm telling you that was some good stuff.
I'm just thankful he's still here, because he leaves for like Maine for like 6 months here in about like another 8 minutes. So he's gone here shortly.
He does, well, I think he's doing a little wine thing also. So
good.
He's doing a couple of trips to increase his wine knowledge.
That's good. He's a smart man.
So, all right, now it is time. I don't know if you've seen this segment before. It's very, very, very exciting and thrilling.
Yes.
It is the Hit the Blakes traffic report.
Traffic. All right. So it looks like I-95 is looking very open compared to yesterday, though.
Yeah, it was a little slow yesterday.
Yeah, surprisingly, the State Road 16 camera, though, is not pointing towards the construction, but more towards the exit ramp, so which is kind of surprising, though.
Sorry, I'm watching the ostrich racing.
Fair enough. So, but as you probably should, because it's much more entertaining than what I'm saying right now.
Yeah. Oh, man, that guy took a tumble. Sorry. Oh, I was still on the ostrich rations.
Don't worry about it. I completely understand.
Like, who is that traffic report brought to us by?
That traffic report is brought to you by Old Town Trolley. Climb aboard Old Town Trolley experienced over 500 years of history in the heart of St. Augustine. This fully narrated 90-minute tour features 22 convenient stops and covers more than 100 points of interest, including iconic landmarks like the Castillo de San Marco.
Slow down! What's going on there? Jeez.
Hey.
I mean, it's a 3-hour tour.
Yes, indeed. All right. Including iconic landmarks like the Castillo de San Marco, the Fountain of Youth, and Flagler Historic Hotel. With open-air views and the all-day hop-on-off-off access, it is the most fun and flexible way to explore the nation's oldest city. Your ticket also includes free admission to the St. Augustine History Museum, and locals, St. Johns County residents, ride free with a full fare guest through the Hometown Pass program at hometownpass.com. Old Town Trolley, the best way to see St. Augustine one stop at a time.
I'm telling you, when people come into town, they're like, hey, what do we need to do?
Old Town Trolley.
It's like, you got to get on the green trolley.
100%.
You know, and I say Old Town Trolley, and then you say green trolley.
Green trolley.
Green trolley. Get on the green trolley. And
They're the best.
we've experienced them in Savannah. They're great there.
Yep.
We've experienced them in DC. Amazing there.
Yep.
We've experienced them in Boston. Great there. I mean, just their entire team and program throughout the entire country is amazing, and they train up their people like nobody else.
They're all rock stars. I was on one in DC, Troy, and it was amazing.
Yeah. So we did the Boston Tea Party and did the Boston Loop, and their cast at the Boston Tea Party experience was so. I mean, I go every single time, even though I've heard the story,
right?
You know, but I go every single time because they do such an amazing job. All right, we got to talk a little bit about the news before we get to our amazing interview. I know you knew more about this story than I did, but St. Augustine man sentenced to 4 years in prison for illegal selling firearms. A St. Augustine man has been sentenced to federal prison for illegally selling firearms. According to the Department of Justice, 64-year-old Alton Wayne Cope III will serve 4 years and 3 months for possession of firearms as a convicted felon. He was already in trouble and conspiring to deal firearms without a license. Cope pleaded guilty on October of 2024. Federal agents say during the summer of 2024, they purchased 11 firearms from Cope and a co-conspirator. As part of an undercover investigation, authorities later traced the guns back to Braden Hobbs, who was identified as the original purchaser. Cell phone records reveal that the co-conspirator had regularly bought firearms from Hobbs. Investigators also determined that at least 2 of the guns sold by Cope have been previously reported stolen. Wow, this guy just really loves prison. In August of 2024, agents executed a search warrant to discover additional firearms in Cope's bedroom. Cope has a criminal history that includes multiple felony convictions, including possession of cocaine, possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Again, meanwhile, Hobbs has been charged and is scheduled to go on trial later this year. If convicted, he faces a mandatory minimum 5 years with a possible sentencing up to 95 years. The case was investigated by the Department of Justice, FDLE, the St. Johns County Sheriff's Department, and the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. All right, so these guys are just habitual criminals.
Yep.
So they're going to, if he gets out in 4 years, he's probably going to be back in 5. So it's just one of those situations. We're glad he's off the street. St. Johns County Sheriff Department, proud of you and how you protect us always. So, but he was evidently living in the Nocatee area.
Nocatee area. I think that's where the one guy, Hobbs, I think is Nocatee. I think he's a realtor.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
The market's down. Market's down right now.
Times are tough.
Times are tough.
You and I are realtors too, but we're not selling guns.
We're not selling guns.
So, all right. Let's get into our amazing interviewee.
Man, where they at? They're not here yet.
Yeah.
I'm looking for them.
So Dylan Rumrell, very good friend, one of my best friends in the world, and you happen to be the good mayor.
Well, I appreciate being the good mayor.
Yeah. Well, you don't appreciate being my friend? Now you've hurt my feelings.
Hey, I'm a politician, Troy.
You got to keep the votes.
Got to keep the votes.
Got to keep the votes.
No, I've known you for a long time, and I've enjoyed our conversations, hanging out with you, and really just you're a great dude, man. So appreciate it.
No, I appreciate you coming in, and heck, when Mike went on his sabbatical back in the old radio days, I mean, I had you in like 2-3 times a week.
Yeah, I enjoy it.
Just to be on air with me and to shoot the old shiitake.
Well, I will tell you, it was easier then than it is now because you're live. So I have a face for radio.
Yeah.
So I felt really comfortable. Right now, I'm just trying to keep your head down and just look up and
Yeah, give him his close up, Blake. Give him his good close up right there. There you go. Look, yeah. That's it.
It's my Zoolander.
Yeah, the Zoolander. The blue steel.
The blue steel.
All right. So, all right, you're currently the mayor.
Yes, sir.
You do real estate, you do consulting, you do a lot of different things. But tell us about Dylan Rumrell, the good mayor. You're a Florida boy, but you've been all over Florida. So tell us a little bit about your journey on how you got to where you're at as being the mayor.
Yeah, born and raised in Atlantic Beach, came down here in the 90s, finished up at Flagler College, was a communication major, minor in public relations, did some consulting work in the city of Jacksonville, did over $250 million of economic development. That's my passion, is economic development. Brought Shands proton therapy to Jacksonville, which is huge, fights cancer for kids, also for men, prostate. It's very centralized, specific cancer fighting treatment. Did the Volano Beach Publix. I was able to find the $5 million recovery zone bonds back then, and we're able to do that. We're at the CRA and get that developed for the folks over in the Volano area, so they didn't have to, drive across God's creation to a Publix. Now there's a Publix on every 8.5 feet.
Yeah.
But it wasn't as convenient back then.
And that is one of our Publixes. So, I mean, like when Maeve and I leave for Sunday morning.
Yep.
We're going to the big Publix or the little Publix. The little Publix is the Volano. So, and Volano is the easiest one to get in and out of, unless it's a beach day.
Oh, yeah. Forget about it.
If it's a really nice beach day.
Big Publix.
You go to the big Publix.
Big Publix.
You go to the big Publix. So, no, but that's great for that community. And I'm, just to be a part of that portion of it, you got to be proud of that. So.
It was great. The county put in all this infrastructure, and there was nothing being developed. And so this gave an opportunity to really spearhead that development over in Volano and for the county to recapture those fees. So it worked out wonderfully. People, I think, enjoy that Publix over there. It's brought restaurants, it's brought hotels. It's really brought back that Main Street vibe of Volano, which is really cool.
Yeah, no. And for years, we had a bond that was able to do the parks on either end. And when we purchased, the Green, whatever that restaurant.
Oh, the restaurant. Yep.
That was at the Turtle.
Fiddler's on the Green.
Fiddler's Green. Yep. Fiddler's Green. I was like, it had a turtle emblem, but Fiddler's Green was it. So we were able to purchase that and have that preserved. And then we got the bridge from the state to do the pier.
Yeah.
And so for years it just sat those two parks at either end, and everything in between was like, okay, what are we going to do? And
it's coming.
Now everything is, we went to a festival over there just like 3 weeks ago, and it was slammed and had great life. There were good, wonderful shops, restaurants, everything there. So it was really nice to see where they're at.
Development done right, man. Yeah. They did a really good job of making really that a main street. And back in the day, that was Vivian Browning. That was her vision, right? And so it was. She got to see it through, which is great.
No, it's wonderful. So, a position opened up, and you put your name in the hat to be on the city commission. Was that one of the things you're like, oh, I really want to be on that? I want to run for this office or whatever, but you kind of applied. A commissioner stepped down, and then you were appointed. How did that appointment work? How did that decision take place?
So the city of St. Augustine Beach, unlike the county appointment is the governor, right? So it's a gubernatorial appointment. The beach is just your fellow commissioners that are left up on the dais at the time.
Okay, so the four that were
there. Yep. And at that time, it was Margaret England, Don Samora, Undine George, and Maggie Koska. And it was great. I applied. There was about 18 other applicants, great applicants, and they chose me. Maybe begrudgingly now, but
like, oh!
We made a mistake. But no, it's been great. I've really enjoyed it. I've always wanted to give back. I grew up, both my parents, my mom who's passed, but my father who's still here, always said, if you get to a point in life where you can give back, give back. And helping people that's my passion.
Yeah.
And so it's been great. Ran unopposed in 2020, ran unopposed in 24, became mayor last year, mayor now. I've brought over $15 million to the city of St. Augustine Beach from appropriations from Tallahassee, which is tremendous.
I just want people to hear that you've been a politician for almost 6-7 years.
Yeah.
And you've never had to run.
I've never had to run.
That's like the ultimate politician dream. I mean, at least you haven't burned up your.
No, I must be doing something right, right? I must be doing something right.
No one's willing to run against you.
Well, I think because I return every phone call, I return every email, Troy. I treat people the way I want to be treated, and that makes a big difference. Just treat people. People just want to be treated with kindness and professionalism. We don't need this bickering back and forth and fighting. We're not going to agree on everything, but as long as you do it in good jest and do it for the better of the community, I'm happy to sit there at least for the next 3 years as my term. So, once my mayoral term is done at the end of the year, I'll have 3 more years left on the commission, and I'll still fight the same way I'm fighting as mayor.
Yeah. Okay. Who do you mentioned the ones when you were appointed? Who now sits on the board with you over at the city of St. Augustine Beach?
Sure. So Undine George, Don Samora, Virginia Morgan, Beth Sweeney, and then myself. So it's the dynamic 5. And Max Royal's still there. 35 years.
Fantastic 5.
The Fantastic 5.
Yeah. So the man from Alaska is still
he's still 35 years.
Still walking to work.
Riding his bike. Yep. Still picking up trash on the side of the road, counting street lights that are out.
And I understand he does have a computer now.
He does. It used to be typewriter. Yeah. It used to be typewriter.
Yeah. When I was at Parks and Rec, I'd be, come on, man, just get a computer.
Yeah.
You're gonna like it.
Look, he still has a typewriter in his office.
Does he?
Oh yeah. So if you get some crypto message in the mail that's typed up, it's kind of given who it is. Max, you're not hiding your identity well.
It came from Max. It's like so what are some initiatives, like you as mayor right now, and your mayoralship is up
December 31st.
December 31st.
Yep.
You as mayor are trying to accomplish before we get to that December 31st this year that's happening right now?
So it's infrastructure. That's been my platform the entire time I've been on the commission, Troy, is to really update our infrastructure. We're a coastal community, hurricanes, flooding, all the things that you expect a coastal community to deal with. I want to update everything I can right now, just as my term goes to an end in 3 years. So I don't look at it just as a mayoral thing. I look at it as my entire term.
Gotcha.
I would like to leave with better infrastructure, and I think we're going that direction. We're paving roads. We're fixing things. I was up in D.C. trying to get some federal funding. I think I got us about $1 million to look at our major drainage, which is our outfall program. So our main drain, Troy, not to bore everybody, I'll give a quick synopsis. 11th Street, all the way down to Mizell Pond. You're familiar with Mizell Pond, because that's where Parks and Rec is off Mizell. And so that Mizell Pond is our main drainage for the entire city. So it flows down 11th Street, dumps into that pond. We have these incredible turbine engine pumps that I'd love for you to see, and it pushes the water out into the intercoastal.
Turbine's a word that should be used more. It's just a cool word.
It's a cool word.
Turbine.
It's like,
turn on the turbines.
Fire them up.
Yeah. Okay. You were very instrumental. There was an issue on Michler.
Yep.
Not Michler, Michler.
Michler.
On Michler. That I think you were, that was kind of floundering around, and you kind of said, as a commissioner, I mean, this is one of the things where it's like, it really shows that you care about the people that you're serving. You kind of stepped in and said, all right, let me see if and talk about that and how that got figured out too. Because I got to brag on my buddy.
I appreciate that.
And Vic says you're his best friend, not mine.
Okay, there you go. All right.
Vic's already claimed.
He's already claimed it. All right, the good mayor.
Yeah.
No, so it was really a combination. So when I got on the commission, they had piped this portion of Michler, and whether it's good or bad or indifferent, but what it was doing, Troy, it was backing up water in the Ocean Walk subdivision. And one of the greatest constituents I have is Karen Kempler.
Oh, yeah.
And she is relentless, but she was, again, professional. And I would drive the streets during storms, after storms, and man, it was that neighborhood was underwater.
It was gobbling up their entire yard
everywhere.
So, yeah.
And so I was, by the grace of God, Cindy Stevenson, Travis Hudson, were still in office, and they were able to help me get appropriations for the drainage since that neighborhood, that's our streets. So we got to protect our streets. And we were able then to just really almost complete, it's almost done now, that project. There's like a phase 2 that we're working on now, but the phase 1 is done, and they haven't had any water in their neighborhood. So that's what makes me excited about being in politics, is it's the process, which I love because you got to find an end result. But seeing it put to bed, knowing that you just fixed something, man, that gives me chills when I talk about it.
Yeah, no, and that one was a real problem, and it seemed to be floundering around. And when you stepped in, and obviously Karen in that neighborhood stepped up, it made a huge difference for everybody involved. So congratulations on that.
And I'd be remiss not to give credit to Beth Sweeney, because Beth is over there in Tallahassee fighting for money too.
Yeah.
So Beth has done a great job advocating for the city of St. Augustine Beach, and she's vice mayor. So
yeah. All right. So, what's the most interesting thing that kind of caught you off guard? Like, now you've always been on the lobbying side, on the consultant side, and now you're sitting up there on the diocese. What is the thing that you're like, man, I didn't even think about this being a factor now that you're a commissioner, now that you're a mayor? What was the thing that kind of caught you like off guard? Because something always gets you.
It does, and being a small business owner, when I had businesses downtown St. Augustine, the first thing is that government works really slow. And I hate that, right? I'm all about small government, work as fast as you can. If government worked like a business, people wouldn't have these arguments that where's my tax money going? Why is it going here? Why is it taking so long to pave my road? And it's the bureaucracy, right? Because there's laws that are in place. You have to put out RFPs, RFQs. There's all these processes that really take time. So it's not that we're trying to deliberately slow things down, is that we're hamstrung by certain things that we have to do that are statutorily things that we have to do. And I wish in government we could change some of that to expedite things, because that's what it is. People get frustrated because they're like, my road has been underwater for 16 months. And I'm like, well, we're in the process of our third RFP because the first two.
Try 120 years.
Right.
About that.
Or downtown St. Augustine.
Try Riberia.
Right. And so it's like, but people have to understand that government works slow, but there's reasons why it works slow. And there's statutory reasons why they work slow. So I wish we could change that. If there's anything that I could do, that would be change some of those laws. And
this is my theory on it. And you tell me, you're sitting there. I was on the staff side, not on the political side. But I think government works slow, so you can't get too far away from the center. So you can't really get yourself in huge trouble.
Right.
But you're also nothing's going to be expedited properly. And I'll tell you this, with Veterans Village, we've had a grant in place since we purchased it. So 2 years ago, I'm going almost 2 years ago, year and a half ago, and to do the improvements. They're just now getting started on those. And it's not only that, it costs much more. And it's because there's 4 different layers that it has to go through for the approval to make sure that everybody's money is getting spent properly, but the whole time they're making sure everybody's money is getting spent properly.
Right.
They're spending it on people that's not necessary to the process.
And that's government.
And that's, I've been out of government 14 years now, I think, something like that, 13 years.
You should get a pen, a recovery pen.
Yeah, recovery. like a button. A button. So, I mean, I forgot, I've been in private business now for this long. It's like, okay, well, just go ahead and order that. And you can't do that. You can't do that.
No. And you look, I mean, people are frustrated. You drive the roads of St. Johns County just like I do. And our commission gets beat up because, US 1 is under construction for the last 3 years. State Road 16 is under construction for the last 3 years. But the reality is those are state roads. Mm-hmm. And again, the state, you think we work slow.
King Street.
Oh, man. That's going to be a fun.
They haven't even shut it down, and it's messed up right now.
Yeah, but it's also pulling the Band-Aid off. Government has to pull the Band-Aid off things and get it done.
Yeah.
And if sometimes you have to work around the clock. I'm a big believer, and if you put a date and a contract, just like building a house, there's thresholds, right? Mm-hmm. There's draws. If you don't get to this point, we ain't paying you.
Yeah.
Hold government accountable. That's what we should be doing.
Yep. All right, we got to get to the Gas Buddy gas report. So tell us in the comments your gas prices. I'm gonna let Blake do this Gas Buddy report. and hopefully he's got it ready and pulled up because our director producer is always on time.
Yes, yes, I do have it pulled up right here. All right. So we have the Circle K at 715, 207 at 285. The Shell at 146 King at 287. The Owens at 78 South Ponce de Leon Boulevard at 289. The Sunoco at 450 South Ponce de Leon at 289. The A1A Discount Beverage on Anastasia Boulevard at 299. The Shell jumps up to at 216 Ponce de Leon Boulevard, jumps up to 315. The Gate on Mizell Road at 317. And the Gates at 4075 US 1 jumps up to 321. That Gas Buddy Gas Report is brought to you by Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. Trouble with the law? Call the name St. Augustine has trusted for years. Chris Lucero Bail Bonds. Available 24/7. Their experienced and compassionate team works fast to get you or your loved one out of jail and back home. From paperwork to release, they make the process simple, discreet, and stress-free. No judgment, just when you need it the most. When time matters, remember the name and the number. Chris Lucero Bail Bond at 904-822-BAIL. That's 904-822-2245.
All right. And our live music today brought to us by visitstaugustine.com. Music. We're going to start at the 5 o'clockers because you should be working until then. No, because the list is so long. All right. John Winters, not Jonathan Winters, John Winters at Fusion 904 Eatery at 5 o'clock. All these will be at 5 o'clock. Dewey Via at Guy Harvey Resort. Vinny Jacobs at Hurricane Grill and Wings. Allen Arena at Oasis Deck and Restaurants. Trevor Compton at St. Augustine Shores Golf Club. Crawford's Boyd's Acoustic Anomaly at Trade Winds at 5 o'clock. Bill Sabo at OC White's. Mike Cook at the Tides Oyster Company and Grill. All right, these are our 6 o'clockers. And by the way, Blake, we got to change this one. I'm not sure. Jim assaulted. It was Brillo's. Now I saw they changed the sign. It's like Uptown Pizza.
Uptown Pizza or something.
They just changed the sign on us. We got to figure out what's going on with that. That's in the beer garden there. Zaza Flamenca at the Hilton St. Augustine Historic Bayfront. Pasta night. All right. It is Brett Blackshear at Harry's Seafood Bar and Grill. Shine. Oh, she's so good. At Prohibition Kitchen at 6 o'clock. Acoustic Group Jam Marina Munch. Josh Tennessee Worthy at the Colonial Oak Music Park. We'll have Cindy coming in here talking to us soon. Bad Dog Mama and the Currys, okay, at Waterworks. Elizabeth Roth at the St. Johns County Ocean Pier. So we'll talk a little bit about that.
Yep.
Dharma at Casa Divino 57.
Hold on one second. Stop.
Yes.
That's so both of those have been taken off the Visit St. Augustine website. That list was taken off at I believe last night. So
Dharma and the last two?
Yeah.
Okay. So, all right. And then that music report is brought to us by Fidus Roofing. When it comes to protecting your home, trust the St. Augustine roofing experts. Fidus Roofing and Construction, voted best of St. Augustine every year since 2012. From emergency repairs to full replacements, Fidus Roofing delivers expert shingle and metal roof installation using top-tier materials like the GAF Lifetime Roofing System and durable aluminum or Galvalume metal roofing. Backed by trustworthy warranties and GAF Master Elite certification, Fidus ensures your roof is built to last. 904-355-ROOF.
They do pavers
and gutters. All right, and Fidus is also a huge supporter of Epic. Next week, we're going to switch that read up a little bit and talk about Epic and mix that into our Fidus read because they got a big fundraiser coming up at a golf tournament. And then we'll have Teresa Andrews from Epic come in and talk to us also. All right. Good mayor.
Yes, sir. Hey, let's go back to gas prices, man. I'm taking notes here on the writable board here.
Yeah.
So over the weekend, it was like 282, and this has been a pattern. I've been watching this. And then it jumps to like 319 like on Tuesday. And I'm thinking, okay, so they lower the gas prices when tourists come to town. But then us locals are paying the higher prices. I think they need to reverse this. and allow us during the week to pay the lower prices and then raise it on the weekend. What's going on?
Well, the problem is the individuals don't have a whole lot of control, and the gas stations here don't make a whole lot of money on gas.
They don't.
Selling gas draws people into their stores
until they put the credit card readers outside.
Yeah. So there's a trend that goes out, and it kind of goes out like if you're a Sunoco's saying you should be suggesting you're selling it at this. If you're Shell, it's sending out this, and so they're getting that on a regular basis. Like they're just kind of keeping an eye on the formulas. If you look over there to the left,
yeah,
what's it say? If you can read it,
please save something gas. To something.
My prediction
for something.
My prediction by 4th of July.
I think it was the Da Vinci Code.
Yeah, that was the Da Vinci Code. So my prediction by the 4th of July is gas prices will be in the 260s.
Okay.
And then they'll hold in the 260s until we go to the
Labor Day?
cold weather again.
Okay. Oh, okay. So cold.
So the transition happens like in September, October.
Yep.
And
from
then,
the oils.
And then they have to switch up the refineries and how they're making the gas because summer gas and winter gas is different.
No, that's right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I think we're going to stabilize around that 4th of July.
Okay.
And then stay in the 260s for a couple months. But
I just don't get it. Like
there's some that change 3 times a day.
Yeah. I'm sitting there and I'm like, oh, I better get gas on Sunday night for the week because it's going to go back up on Tuesday.
Yeah.
And like clockwork, you drive by and you're like, man, that was 268 the other day. Now it's 319. I'm like,
I can tell you a better pattern.
Yes. Please share.
I'll share this. Whenever I need gas, it's at the highest level. So as soon as I get gas, I'll call you and say, okay, go tomorrow.
Go tomorrow. Because it's going to be the cheapest.
Because that seems to be the pattern that's worked in the last 20 years from my life.
All right.
So I'll just let you know.
All right. I'm just keeping an at thing. I'm tax watch.
Yeah. All right. I want you to put on your music hat. We just did the music report.
Yeah.
All right. And your role at the St. Augustine Amphitheater.
Yes, sir.
And the cultural
SJCCE Inc.
Yeah. Whew, that's a lot.
Yeah, it's a mouthful. St. Johns County Cultural Events Inc.
Okay. What is that? How did you get involved? And what are some of the big things coming your way? You know, you guys are real close on the concert hall.
Yeah, it's,
so let's talk about what that is.
Right.
And what your role is with the Cultural Events Inc.
So a couple years ago now, it's been, Troy, the county commission unanimously decided to put out a committee. I was appointed at that point, along with Bo Bozard, Jerry Wilson, Bethany Hilbert, and we sat there. I know I'm forgetting somebody else, but we sat there and we kind of looked at the amphitheater, concert hall, Sing Out Loud, Fort Mose Jazz and Blues Series as a business, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so we looked at it and we're like, okay, I don't think this should be in government because government's good at roads and bridges and parks and stuff like that. But man, when it comes to music, they're not booking agents.
Yeah.
Right. Even though we have a great staff, like I don't want to take it away from our staff because our staff, the folks at the amphitheater, are the top in the country. I'll
without a doubt,
hands down, the top in the country.
I will vouch for them.
Yeah.
I hired a lot.
You hired a lot of them. You know them.
I will vouch for them and exactly what you're saying with the struggles that I personally had. So good.
Yeah, and I saw that. I watched you go through it. And so we came to this conclusion, I'll fast forward it, but we came to a conclusion that it's better outside of government. Mm-hmm. And then at that point, we're like, okay, what makes sense? And we thought, okay, not for profit, because then we can get back to the community, right? We're community led, community operated, community owned. And so we want to make sure that what we do brings back to the community. And so we became a not-for-profit. I became the chairman of the board. Bo Bozard is vice chair of the board. You have Kevin Sweeney, Mike Diaz, Bethany Hilbert's on there, Jerry Wilson is on there, and we just have a great group of board of directors.
That's an impressive board.
I'm thankful. Look, I always surround yourself with smarter people. I am okay in that room because there are many smarter people than me. I'm on the low end of that totem pole.
It's pretty easy for me to do that.
Me too. Me too. And so now, we've done some great things. We've changed ticketing companies. I know people were upset at that. We apologize. But anytime there's a transition, there's always hiccups. Yeah. But so we did that. We got rid of the conglomerate of Ticketmaster, and And so now we're doing that. And then the concert hall, man, I am so excited about what they're doing at Ponte Vedra. A $10.5 million renovation. There's so many great things that are going to happen there. It's going to be a hybrid. So we'll have 250 seats every show. So it won't be just standing only. We'll have seats. So when you do like a Melissa Etheridge who's coming, we'll use people that are coming right now. When you do a Melissa Etheridge, there's some people that are like, man, I don't want to stand with 900 of my closest friends or enemies, depending on
shoulder to shoulder,
right?
And I'm always behind a guy like you.
Yeah, right. So I mean, that exactly.
And you can't make yourself small.
No, I've tried. Even when I was a baby, they're like, man, your mom could have had 2 kids, but you had one big one.
You're 6'5", and you're 6'5", and I'm 5'8".
Yeah,
and all the friends I walk around with are 6'3" and 6'4". So I mean, the crew I walk with
they're tall.
Yeah,
they're tall.
Yeah.
And so, so that hybrid's great. We're adding balconies inside, so you have a little more intimacy. The point of sale system. One of the complaints we had was you only had one spot to buy drinks and food and all that stuff. Now we've got like 11 point of sale systems. Bathrooms, we've doubled up on the bathrooms. Women's bathrooms, we got you covered.
Yeah.
And so what we're really doing is really updating a church that was turned into a concert hall. And now we're going to make it the best first-class concert hall in America, I promise you.
Yeah, Gabe knows the day we walked in and the baptismal's still sitting there. And as we're talking, everything's echoing. But the sound that they created in there, Bill Parker and Gabe, they did that internally.
Right.
Like we looked at a price, we're like, we can't afford that. And they did that. They did that in-house.
Right.
And it's amazing how it turned out. The balconies, Gabe said he hadn't seen them in forever, but I had balconies and luxury boxes kind of angled towards the stage in a design.
Okay.
And just a recession hit at the wrong time. But I'm so excited to see what that could have been because, that was another one that got caught up in the budget crisis.
Yep.
That was supposed to be a community center, but the county's like, community centers cost too much money. I was like, all right, well, let me make it a concert hall and I'll make it profitable.
Right.
And that's how we ended up with the Ponte Vedra Concert Hall.
Yeah.
And, and Gabe's taken it to like on a totally another level. I think Arturo Sandoval was one of our first ones.
I remember that.
And we had some really good acts in there early on, but it was, you could still tell, okay, this was a church.
Oh, yeah. I think now you're going to say that was
you
a
can't
church.
Tell it's a church.
That was a church.
It was Cornerstone
Church. And they moved over to Nocatee.
Yeah.
And so, no, we're excited. All the great things that staff, I mean, Carrie Baker, our program director, who's getting all these incredible acts, shout out to Carrie Baker because she is on fire. Mm-hmm. The things that we're getting right now, I'm blown away that like St. Augustine.
Yeah.
We're getting, John Legend's coming back to St. Augustine, all these great events and concerts and the Fort Mosaic. Very blessed to be a part of that and help them recreate that fort and doing a jazz and blues series and then sing out loud. Man, what a great opportunity to really help the tourism industry and the people who work here. That's our thing. September is a tough month for the industry. And look, it's not for the faint of heart, Troy. We're not counting money at the end of Sing Out Loud. But what we are doing is we're seeing a bunch of smiling faces and people giving us hugs and thanking us because we were able for them to pay their rent that month. And for me, that's that public servant side of it. That Sing Out Loud is really us as an organization giving back, even though, again, the time it takes to do it, the money it takes to do it, the headache that takes to do it. But if it helps the community, we're community partners, and we really believe in that as what we do at St. Augustine.
Yeah. All right. We're about to kind of wrap up some things and do some stuff. Anything we've left off that you need to get out there to the people?
Yeah, I just want to let people know. So we're doing some paving. The parking lot of Cafe 11, which is a city-owned parking lot. We're doing Cafe 11 parking lot. We're also doing paving on 10th and 12th Street. East of the boulevard, and then 11th Street west of the boulevard. We're getting ready for Memorial Day weekend. Y'all be safe out there. Drink lots of water, Gatorades. Enjoy yourself. Don't act a fool. We don't want to put people in jail, but if we do, call Chris Lucero. He'll take care of you. But
and swim near a lifeguard.
Yeah, that's right. Swim near. Yeah, absolutely. That's the biggest thing, man, is that if you're not experienced swimmer, people, go deep enough that you can enjoy yourself, but not deep enough where you're in trouble.
Where it knocks you off your feet.
Where it knocks you off on your feet, so.
All right. Be aware of the rip currents too. Check out the flags. The flags tell you where you're at and what you need to be doing. So, all right, Blake, how do you want to check the comments, sir?
All right, on this Thursday, Troy's son will theatrically go through the thoughts offered by the Thunderous fandom.
All right. That is terrific. All right. Also terrific, B&S Signs. Want your business to get noticed and stay that way? Turn to B&S Signs, proudly family-owned and serving St. Augustine for over 50 years. From bold vinyl lettering and towering pylon signs, they specialize in high-quality custom signage built to last. Their expert team handles everything: design, installation, crane service, repairs, and maintenance, with fast, responsive service that keeps your sign looking sharp. Make a lasting impression with B&S Signs. Visit bnssigns.com, because when it comes to signs, they do it all. And I want to say, as you listen to us do these reads, how many of these are family-owned? And the next one is too, which is amazing. And they've been a part of the community, and these people have been giving back for so long. And this one is no different, and that is St. Augustine Handy House. Need a custom or prefab portable building that's built to last? Come to St. Augustine Handy House, proudly owned by Troy Ucena Enterprises and serving the community since 1988. With over 70 structures in stock, from sheds and barns to carports and offices, you'll find the perfect fit for your needs. Every building comes with delivery, leveling, and anchoring, plus easy finance options to fit your budget. That's the good Troy. They are located, so go visit them on State Road 16, open Monday through Saturday. Give them a call at 904-823-9092. St. Augustine Handy House, where quality meets convenience. Blake, what do we got in those comments, buddy?
All right. So we have Wawa at 317, Costco at 271, BP at Lewis Point is at 313. Joy and Tim have never seen Amazing Race. Kenny says that he'll be barefoot. He's not running. Rebecca only runs for ice cream or if she's being chased. Kenny also said that we should save some woods. They are better than people. And actually, during the show, I did get a nice poem from your father, Rick.
All right.
And we also do have a genuine question from Bobby that asked, what is the timeline on pier repairs?
That's a good question, and thank goodness, Bobby, that's in the county.
Yeah.
So, it's in our jurisdiction, but it's St. Johns County that owns the pier and operates the pier. But I'll find out, and I'll post something on my Facebook page. So y'all get on my Facebook page and like it, and I'll get an answer. I know they've been working about trying to get those pylons done, and then opening up the last quarter of the pier because of being unstructurally safe. So Bobby, I got you, bro.
Yeah. All right. Now it is time for the Stoidum Stat. Today's Stoidum Stat, 1992. Today is the day Johnny Carson says goodbye to the Tonight Show for after 30 years. And Johnny Carson's my Tonight Show guy. I mean, everybody kind of different ages and different things. I mean, you're a little younger than me. You're probably a Jay Leno guy.
Yeah, but it was Johnny Carson. In 92, yeah. I was almost out of high school. So, yeah. I mean, Johnny Carson was there, and then obviously Jay Leno transitioned into it. But, man, I was still a Dave Letterman dude, man. He still cracks me up.
Yeah. Dave's great. But he says goodbye to the Tonight Show, and it was the second most watched Tonight Show. The first one was when Tiny Tim got married on air. So, tiptoe through the tulips. All right. That is brought to us. That Stoidum Stat is brought to us today by St. Augie's Pizza. We ate there last night in downtown St. Augustine, right on the corner of Riberia and MLK. Get yourself a slice today. I don't know which way to point where it was. You saw the slice. All right, I always mess that up. All right, plugs. You got any plugs for this weekend?
Man, no real plugs. Just be safe out there. Enjoy the Memorial Day weekend. Know what Memorial Day is really about, is giving thanks to those who sacrificed everything to keep us free. We thank every branch of our military, our law enforcement, first responders. And just be kind humans, man. We live in a day and age where keyboards become bullies, not people. And let's be kind humans out there.
Be nice. Blake, what you got plug wise?
Take a look at flaglerathletics.com. Today at 9 a.m. We have a women's tennis quarterfinal match in the NCAA tournament against the University of North Georgia. So take a look at the live stats page, 9 a.m. at flaglerathletics.com.
All right. And please, we got tonight, we got Bollocks tonight. Lenny and I are in studio. Maybe a little hungover. But don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and please, if you would, have your friends subscribe to our YouTube. We're getting so close on that one. And now we are on Rumble. We will see you guys tomorrow and have a beautiful day.